Hi friends, welcome back to another video and welcome in if you're new. Today we are setting up my reading journal for February for all the books that I read in February. I ended up reading 2 books altogether, which is on target for my monthly goal, which is awesome. And I had a lot of fun setting up the spreads. If you enjoy any kind of journaling or reading journal content, then I have lots of other videos on my channel that you can check out. And as you may be able to hear in my voice, I'm a little bit sniffly today. I was a little bit under the weather last night and I've woken up with a little bit of a sniffle. So I'll probably not be talking too much in today's video. So I will chat you through a few bits and pieces of the spreads and hopefully you enjoy watching me set everything up for the books that I've read in February. So the first spread you see me setting up is my cover page. I have decided to just kind of go for a double page, decorate it, and then I will put in a note of the books that I read that month. As I said earlier, I managed to read 2 books. One was Red Rising by Pierce Brown and the other was Legends Lattes by Travis Baldree. I had also hoped to read or finish reading a third. I am still trying to get through Crooked Kingdom by, I think it's Leah Bardugo. So I've been trying to get through that because I read about a third of it and I just ended up kind of falling off my reading habit, and I'd been trying to kind of get back into reading again, and then I ended up half reading a bunch of books. So my goal was to kind of finish all the books that I started and left, but then my husband had been talking about the book Red Rising by Pierce Brown. So Legends Lattes and Crooked Kingdom were supposed to be the ones that I read first. And then my husband started talking about the Red Rising book. And he'd read it quite a while ago. And he just kind of kept talking about it. And I ended up picking it up and I thought, okay, well, I'll read this one first and then I'll go back and read Crooked Kingdom when I'm done. And so I did that and I really enjoyed Red Rising. And I was trying to get back into Crooked Kingdom, and then my husband started reading the second book in the series of Red Rising, and I got FOMO and started reading it too. So I didn't get the chance to finish Crooked Kingdom, but my current read is the second book. I think it's called Golden Sun in the Red Rising series. It's very good so far. I haven't read that much, just a couple of chapters, but yeah, I couldn't not, because I kept seeing all the reactions from my husband, and I didn't want to wait ages to read it, so I ended up starting it. But Anyway, that's besides the point. That's not a book I'm talking about this month because it is the February books that I am talking about. So yeah, I thought I would do my cover page and just kind of decorate it a little bit bookish themed. There's no real rhyme or reason to it. I just picked out some ephemera from my collection, like book pages, and there's some like book stickers. The stickers you see down in the right hand corner, those are from a Patreon journaling kit by Mochi Bujo. Hedda has a YouTube channel as well, and she she does reading vlog or reading journal updates and bullet journal stuff as well. I think she does some studio vlogs sometimes. But I was a part of her Patreon for a while, and this was some of the printables that came in one of her tiers that I was in, and so I thought I would use some of those because it just looked nice with the kind of colours, and it matched the colours of some of the stickers that I was going to use. I'm still figuring out kind of how I want my cover pages to look and what I want to have on them. Because I've only really just got back into reading again, I don't really know what it is I would like to track aside from the actual books that I've read. The spreads for the books are going to be where I write my thoughts and stuff of the books, but I'm not really in the habit of like doing star ratings or anything. So with this one, I ended up tracking the number of pages that I'd read and the number of books that I'd read. And I'm just going to kind of keep looking around for inspiration and see what other people do. So if you have a reading journal, I would love to know what you track in your monthly spreads. If you have any monthly spreads, I know some people don't. Some people just do it where they have a spread per book that they read, and then they can write when they read it or when they finished. So yeah, I would love to know how you set your journal up, if you do any reading journaling, or if you track it, even if it's just on Goodreads and that kind of thing. I want to get into doing some sort of star rating system, but I don't have any real like gauge of how I want to do it. But I did see some people who they kind of write out their star rating themselves, and they kind of make up their own version of it. So like a 1 star is, didn't even want to finish it, would never read again, wouldn't recommend. Whereas like a 5 star would maybe be a book that you loved, you couldn't put it down, you would reread it again, you would recommend it to everybody. And then like middle ones could be something like it was an enjoyable book, but you wouldn't read it again, So I feel like I want to make up my own key to follow for the 5-star rating, just so that I can kind of figure out how to rate each one, because I tend to also have a terrible memory. So I feel like sometimes, depending on my mood, will depend on how I would rate a book when I'm finished, even if I enjoyed it or didn't enjoy it. So yeah, I think one of those like rating systems that I create would be good. So if I can come up with one, I will probably pop it into my next journaling video, my next reading journal video, that is. So if you have any suggestions, I would love to know. So yeah, I'm just kind of decorating here and there. I've got little book stickers, some washi, and I have just kind of collaged everything together. I liked how it turned out. You'll see that I do some lettering in a different colour of pen. It's a new pen that I've gotten recently, which is really nice. I don't know if the colour really matches it as well as I'd hoped, but it works out fine. I think lettering, like I say in almost every video, is something that I want to work on more, but we'll get there eventually. I'm just very busy at the minute and don't really have the time. I mean, I probably could make the time, but I'm usually working, so working or with my toddler and my husband. So I just haven't given myself the opportunity to sit down and learn yet. For now, I use stamps and whatnot, but hopefully in the future I will get a little bit better at some hand lettering stuff too. So here we are into the first spread. This one is based on the Red Rising book. I decided to kind of go with a theme from the book because it is based on like planets and Mars specifically. I thought I would go for kind of a planetary kind of vibe with the red and just kind of a few little nods to the actual book. And I had fun with it. I don't know if I'll always theme things to the book. I feel like I want to, but I won't always have all of the like correct stickers and stuff to do that. So I think it'll just depend really on the books that I'm reading. But because I had some like kind of planet and stars and astrology type stuff, I figured I could do it for this book at least as well. And I had fun with it. It's not my favourite spread, but I enjoy the layering and stuff that I did in it and trying to think outside the box when it came to how to set up a spread based on the theme of a book. So it was really fun to do. And in terms of the actual book itself, I'm going to talk a little bit about it without spoilery type stuff. Hopefully I can kind of just give you a bit of a rundown based on like the blurb. So I'm not going to give anything away, but give you an idea of what the book's about. So basically the premise is you meet this character called Darrow, and there is a whole kind of system of kind of colours. They use colours to determine like people's ranks, I guess you could say. Similar to Hunger Games, maybe you could call it. Anyway, Darrow is a red. He's a miner, and he mines the inside of Mars. And basically, everybody on Mars inside, like mining, has been told. All the Reds have been told that they're trying to extract elements so that one day the surface of the planet could be inhabited by humans to live on. And they've always just been told that they are like humanity's last hope. So that's kind of the premise of his story and where he kind of originates. And then, of course, one day they discover it's all a lie, and actually Mars has been habitable for many, many, many years. And the classes of people, I guess that's a better term, the classes of people who have been inhabiting it and kind of governing it are the Golds. And they kind of look down on the Reds as slave labour and exploit them. And then there's this whole system of different kind of classes. And so then this group of rebels basically recruit Darrow to help with their mission of disguising him as a Gold and infiltrating and trying to take them down from the inside. So then that's basically the whole story, where it begins to kind of get more. There's a lot more action. So the first half of the book for me was a bit slower, but I find after finishing the book, it made sense why you needed to know all of the prior information. But whenever the action hits, I could not put the book down. I didn't want to stop reading it. It was just so much happened in the last half of the book that I felt like I couldn't quite believe that it was just one book where everything that had happened. So I highly recommend it. If you like anything like the Hunger Games, I would say you probably would enjoy it too. So if you have read it, I would love to know. Let me know in the comments below. Try to avoid spoilers if you can. But yeah, I would love to know your thoughts. If you enjoyed it, if you didn't, if you're excited about the other books, or if you've read the other books yet. I am still in the process of reading the second in the series, so that will probably be in my reading journal setup for the books I read in March, and that will be a video that comes in the early part of April. So here we are on the second spread. This is the second and the last one of the month. My goal is to try and read 2 books a month. I might read more, I might read less, but for this month I managed to read 2. And the second book is Legends Lattes by Travis Baldree. I did actually start this book maybe at the end of last year, kind of in the autumn season, where it kind of made sense to read it then. I mean, not that you have to read it then, but it's quite a cozy book. So it was nice to read then, but I just... that was the period of time where I felt like I was in a bit of a reading rut and I was finding it hard to really get into the books that I was reading, and I was switching and changing between a bunch of different ones. So like I said before in the video, I decided that I would try to finish off some of the books that I'd picked up, and Legends Lattes was one of them. And I really enjoyed it. I think because I read through the end part of Red Rising so quickly, I managed to pick up Legends Lattes and really get into it quite quickly again this time round, which was really nice. So it was a very cozy book, and very, like, it would be the perfect kind of read for the autumnal kind of period of time because of everything that happens in the book, and it's just super cozy. So basically we follow along with a character called Viv, who is an orc barbarian, and she's decided to hang up her sword, and there's going to be no more kind of fighting and that kind of thing. All of that action is something that she wants to leave behind, and she plans to open up the very first coffee shop in a city called Thun. Thun, I think it's pronounced Thune. But nobody really knows what coffee is. So you basically follow along with Viv while she figures out how to run this business and get it up and running. All of the people that she meets along the way, all the characters, and of course there is some kind of mystery and challenges that she comes up against in the whole thing. There is some action to it, but it's not super intense. It's more just kind of, there's some tension and some kind of things that kind of challenge her in terms of running the business successfully, and some like people from her past and new people from this town that she's meeting. So it's interesting, and there is action to it, and there is kind of some tension there that builds, but it's not so intense that you're kind of like on the edge of your seat. It's a very kind of heartwarming story, and all about like fresh starts and making lovely coffees and yummy pastries, and yeah, it basically just made me want to go to a coffee shop and eat yummy pastries and drink lots of coffee while I read it. So if you've read it, I would love to know again. It was a real kind of easy going read for me, and sort of the perfect one to start after the Red Rising one, after all the action and the adrenaline. So it was a really nice cozy book to read afterwards, and I would definitely recommend it if you want something light-hearted and easygoing and cozy. So there you have it. That is my February reads journal setup done for the month. I hope you enjoyed watching me set everything up and hearing kind of my thoughts on the books and things. If you have anything specific you would want me to talk about more in my future reading journal videos, I am all ears. I would love to know your thoughts. This is all still very new for me in terms of having a reading journal and talking about it and kind of discussing books in this way. So I'm sure I will find a rhythm with it more as I do more, but like I said, I'm all ears. I would love to hear if you have anything you would want me to add into these videos, and any kind of trackers or anything like that that you think would be interesting to have in a reading journal setup. If you enjoyed watching, I'd love it if you could give the video a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, you can subscribe and check out my older videos and the future videos that will be coming to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay cozy, and I will see you in the next one.